Johnson, president of the BMW Motorrad Club of Northern Illinois, and in this video I am going to be both previewing and reviewing the Zūmo 590LM, the brand new Zūmo that's out on the market. Just picked this up from the GPS store, gpsstore.com, and I'm going to have to do everything one-handed here, so deal. Anyway, so those of you guys that are out there already shopping for these things, you kind of know some of the capabilities that this thing has. You've probably been reading up on it, just looking at a video, but it's got their Verb camera, action camera capability, the tire pressure monitor stuff, and of course all the GPS features. So obviously you get the GPS unit in there. Let's see what we got. Looks like we got probably the car dock there because it has a speaker on the back. Battery. Cables for, this is the car charger battery, or the car charger. We have a short USB here. Looks like the micro USB. I'm sure to hook it up to the PC. Suction cup for the car window. We have the motorcycle mount. That's what I'm going to be interested in right there. You got the motorcycle mount, you got black and red cables to hook up. Sweet. Looking forward to it. Anyway, looks like the cover probably that goes on the mount like that, so that way you don't get any rain in there. Try the rain cover. You got a ram mount, little shorty ram mount. Cool. And looks like a handlebar mount for the ball type. Also, you got a ball mount that would screw onto someplace on your bike, probably. Got the quick start manual, that kind of stuff, and little mounting screws and stuff. So anyways, I'm going to get to mounting this thing up on my bike, and then the next review I have, I will show. I'm not going to show how to install it. You guys have to figure that stuff out on your own. So anyway, the next review I have will be of the unit itself. Thanks. So let's talk about the Zūmo Garmin 590LM. This is going to be kind of both a review and an overview. Now, I have used this unit for the last 6 weeks or more, maybe 7 weeks. I've taken it really all around the country. I've used it in the car, I've used it on my bike, and I'll kind of talk about some of the features, some of the different things that you can do with it, and show you the features, show you some of the settings, things like that. I don't really have a whole lot of tips and tricks. I mean, if you have a Zūmo now, you know what these things are about, you know how to use them. They're pretty user-friendly. Sometimes I think they're a little bit oversimplified, but you want to have big bright buttons and things when you're riding on a motorcycle, because the more that you're looking away from the road, the more dangerous you're becoming. Anyway, so in the back here, you've got the power button, you've got the battery cover, and underneath the battery is a slot for your, like another SD card. A little micro SD card goes right in here, slips in there. I don't have one in there because I don't really have any songs or anything like that loaded on here, and I'm not currently out of map space. Once I run out of map space, if I get a lot of routes in here, things like that, I'll definitely invest in one of those for here. Underneath this little cover here, you've got your computer connection, your little micro USB spot, and then you just got your your normal clips and things like that. I'm not really sure what that particular sensor is for. My guess is probably a light sensor. Just seeing how much ambient light's out there, so it can darken the screen or light up the screen as it goes. So I'm going to hit the power button, and you can watch how fast this boots up. Now the unit has two boot up modes. One boot up mode is this one here, which was done from a cold shut off or shut down. And there's your obligatory screen you can ignore. The other one is a fast boot up mode. So like if you just take this off of the bike or whatever, and it shuts itself off, you know, it'll just shut off like that. Now when you hook it back on, it'll boot up very quickly. It just pops right up. So some of the other, now we'll go over just some of the features here. It's got your where to stuff. It has all of your kind of the usual things, the restaurants, cities, gas stations, things that you'd normally use when traveling. You can add your own custom shortcut in, and you can also have your favorites here. It says 075 because I think I added in a favorite at some point, and for some reason it like auto named it 075. It doesn't say that when it's, you know, brand new or whatever. So you've got your category stuff. You can do your searches, and there is a surprising amount of stuff in these things. If you don't think it's in there, just try it, you know. So like if I wanted to go to the see like the Bristol Renaissance Fair, I've looked at that before. I've used up the, you know, looked for this sports center, Big Thunder Park, Advanced Automotives. All these different, these are all searches that I've done in the past, and they pop up here. But really there's a lot of stuff in this Garmin that a lot more than I'll ever go to, that's for sure. A lot of lodging. I have found out that some of the information that Garmin has is wrong, especially around the Birmingham area. It was enough to cause me just about having a heart attack. I was so upset. But anyways, I won't get into that story. Yeah, rest areas. What's really cool, now I cannot demonstrate this while it's sitting here. It simply won't work on the map. But if you are looking for a rest area, you can type that in. It will show you, you know, here's all the different rest areas in the area. I'm kind of in the Chicago area, just outside of Chicago, so there's going to be a lot of them available. Kind of go through there. Okay, you get the idea. Recreation, bowling. Yes, there we go. You can see the different titles and things like that in there. The categories. Everyday life, shopping. What's in under this? I don't even know what this is. Oh, okay. Well, that's alright. There's so many things on here, there's no possible way I'm going to be able to make a video long enough to go through all this stuff. It's just too much. So we have save categories. You can save your stuff. Here at, you know, let's say the Birmingham route, you know, the Birmingham. It's got this 501 Industry Road, which I put in there. That's like Motorcycle Superstore. Rex Lake Road, that's where the RA Rally was. And it does a pretty quick job of calculating. So I'll actually send it in this route here. Say, you know, go here. It's got this routes feature, so whenever you put in something, it pulls up this routes thing, and what it does is it will show you the different routes that you can go on. So you can see this one's calculating up here. There should be another box that will, yeah, calculate down here, and then maybe even a third box will show up in there, and you can pick whichever one you want. And you can see, you know, your approximate arrival times, things like that. Now this is a really far distance, so it's taking a while to calculate all this stuff out. And now I've got this set on, right now I've got this set up on fastest route. It does have the curvy road function, which is really cool, especially if you're out in a rural area and you want to just take away maybe you never took before. tell it to go to the next town or next few towns over, and have it in the curvy road function, and you know, and then it will take you through curvy roads. So like, if I were to go and change the setting and put in curvy roads, it's going to really elongate these times. In fact, maybe I'll just demonstrate that very quickly. So let's just say that this arrival time here is at 3:20 a.m., 3:43. So it's somewhere after 3 o'clock in the morning. Now I'll go back over here to my settings, and I'll go to navigation preferences and take it off of faster time and go to curvy roads, and then go back to that menu. I'll go save Birmingham and go to Rex Lake Road again and pull up the routes. Now you'll be able to see how much different it really goes. Okay, so it was like 3:20 in the morning was the earliest, 3:45 in the morning. And while that's calculating, we're just going to watch it go up. It takes a long time to calculate a route that long. There we go. Now it's 8:50 in the morning and the same mileage, because it's taken me through a bunch of what it thinks are curvy roads. And I think I'm just going to stop there because it's just taking too long. You get the idea. Going here into the apps. The trip planner. Trip planner is if you go ahead and put in a route, say like you created a route on your Garmin Basecamp, and you load it in here, it's going to show up there. As soon as you boot the thing up after you load it in, it's going to say, do you want to import the routes? You click yes. They're going to show up in here. So if I click this, it's going to show, you know, these different routes that I've created. And you know, here's one that I created. Shows it on a map, basically the route that's going on. Now what it doesn't show, it only shows the major roads when you're in this particular mode. When you are looking at a route and you created this route, it's not going to show you any of the smaller roads. So even if I zoom in, you're just not going to really be able to see anything other than major roads. There's no little side roads. There's no the smaller roads that are through here. You know, it's certainly it's all crazed with roads up through here, but you just don't see them in this view. You only get a vague idea of your route. So you can edit your destinations, you can delete it, rename the trip, do stuff like that, optimize the order, sharing it. Now I was not able to get this share feature to work with anybody's GPS. You're supposed to be able to, through the Garmin, like if you've got a buddy that's got a Garmin that is a Bluetooth enabled Garmin, you're supposed to be able to share it through here. So you're supposed to be able to hit this Bluetooth. It's going to, you know, prepare the route. It's going to search for nearby devices. If the device is located, obviously I don't have any other friends here right now that have a Bluetooth, it would show up on here, and you're supposed to be able to click on that, and it's supposed to be able to share it, you know, through the Bluetooth. It's supposed to be able to throw the route over to his GPS so he can enjoy it too. I can't get it to work. So if somebody has gotten this feature to work, put it in the comments below on how to do this. I'm really not sure how to do this one, so I won't spend too much more time on that part of it. You got your transportation mode is by motorcycle. You can change this to the automobile. Not that that's going to make any difference. And my route preference is curvy roads because I changed that setting. The Pandora feature. You can, if you've got your smartphone with you, if you use one of these phones, whether it's an Apple phone or you know, a Windows, I think Windows phone probably works, and certainly Android phone works. You can play your Pandora through the Garmin. It just hooks up through and uses your data. You got your tracks feature. You got where you can kind of zoom in on different areas where you were. It shows you little segments and things. It's not particularly helpful in my opinion, but maybe to you it is. You got the compass feature where you can always, you know, basically see where you're at. It just throws up a big compass on here. You got tire pressure. Come on. They're really going to do that on me now? Yes, it is. I have to charge this unit up some more. You can see how it went gray. It kind of grayed out a little bit. The reason being is because the battery's getting low. So I've had this thing off the bike for quite a while. So I'll pick this thing back up after I recharge it a little bit. I'm going to throw it back on the charger here and keep going on the apps. Alright, so I just put a charger on it for now, just so I can keep going with my review. So going back into the apps now, you got the tire pressure thing. Go on that, you can see that they're green. It means that the tire pressure monitors are functioning. Usually they'll be red until you start moving, and then they turn themselves on. One of the really cool features, and I don't know if a lot of other Zūmo models have this feature or not, but one of the things I really like about this particular thing here, I'm going to try to level this thing off, there we go, is that if you click on this, you've got, you know, you can set your pressure for what you want it to be, your minimum pressure, so that if it falls below that, you know, it throws a warning up on the screen. You got your low pressure setting, so you can set that to whatever you want. You got this tire pressure graph. I really like this part of it because it tells you, it helps you it helps you to kind of get an idea of where your tire pressure is. So if you're trying to keep it within 10% of its you know, of the low pressure, you know, if you want to say you only want your tire to increase 10%, you can go through this graph here and it will show you the highs and lows, the highest point. So on my tire, you know, the lowest point was this is kind of the mean pressure here. It would look like it was about 38 pounds, the high pressure being almost 47.5 or something. But you can zoom in on this area, so you can just kind of drag this around and take a look at something specific. Here you can zoom it in even closer, viewing the last 30 minutes. So you can see I was riding. Here's 42 pounds for almost 43 pounds, and then it drops off as I stop the bike and let, you know, just quit riding. You got this low flat area. And I took it out for another little ride, and the temperature starts going up right away. It's really kind of cool, kind of helpful. I think that's going to keep on bothering me. I thought this one was charging. You got this Verb remote here. I have a buddy who has the Verb camera. I did hook it up to this. All it shows is a split screen that there's like a little split that comes right in here, and on this side is basically your record button, and on this side is a picture button. So you can just hit the screen and either turn your camera on and off or hit it and take a picture of it. So there's not a whole lot there. Oh, already will look at that. Got this round trip feature. I haven't really used this yet, but I'm willing to give it a go. It just says here that this helps you plan a scenic route by distance, duration, or to and from a destination. With just a few steps, you'll be all set up and ready to ride with round trip. So it's something Garmin provides. Actually, I may actually try this feature when I'm going to be going out to the MOA rally, and maybe I'll give that thing a try. Okay, I'm going to just have to keep hitting that. This trackback feature is supposed to be for if you go somewhere, let's say you go out into the desert or something like that, you should be able to hit this trackback and it should lead you straight back to where you started. The phone, I don't like the phone feature on this Garmin. I know that there's a lot of you guys out there that use the phone feature. You don't listen to music, whatever, through your phone. But that is a pain in the ass, to say the least. I really didn't like that at all. And the reason I don't like it, oh my gosh, I think this thing's actually going to die. The reason I don't like it is because you have to manipulate the screen too much. You can't just touch the button on your Cine unit and you know, it work for you. You got to keep touching the screen. You got to keep messing with it, taking your eyes off the road. Not cool, not safe. I really think it's something that's designed for a motorcycle should be really more motorcycle friendly, especially with your Bluetooth units, your Bluetooth headsets that you have, whether it's the Cine units or the Cardo units or the Midlands or whoever makes them. They should be compatible and integrate well. This one does not integrate all that well with the Cine unit. That's getting really obnoxious. Okay, service history. A great feature of this one. I really like this, that you can keep a log of when you do stuff. So, you know, here I did my oil change at 61,000 miles. And it logs other times. So every time you log, you can add a record to it, and it will just keep a running history in there. So that's way it's not rotating, it's not counting like some of the old units would do. I used to have an old Street Pilot, and that one counted up. So you'd set it, you know, say you change your oil and you reset it, it resets at 0, and then it continually runs a trip meter until, you know, you got to check it every once in a while. This way, it's really more like just a written down log. Again, I apologize for that one screen keeps popping up. Just to try to ignore it. It's not something that normally shows up. Okay. All these things here with this little antenna thing, this is the smartphone link. Now, I'll turn on my smartphone link on this phone, and you'll be able to see, you know, how it changes, things like that. And what it does is it enables all these different things, like this photo live is if I paid for the service. I did not pay for the service yet. If I did a lot of traveling on the interstates, there's all those cameras that are up on the street poles, things like that, traffic cameras. It will show me what kind of traffic is up there through a picture. Here, traffic, it's supposed to enable your yeah, I haven't turned on my thing yet. Here, let me turn on the smart link. Anyways, the traffic thing is supposed to warn you of upcoming traffic problems, things like that. So we'll go over here to the smart link, and we'll connect this thing up. There we go, connect. Okay, now this little thing shows up here telling me it's 79 degrees out. So now this is connected through here, and you know, we can just kind of move this off. I know it's really pretty to look at and all, but it's not what this review is. I don't get that. That screen shows up, but it says it's charging up in the corner. So we'll just keep messing around with this thing until it tells me I can't. So now we can go down, and now it's going to show the weather, because this is, now that the smart link is turned on, it throws up different menus. So you got the weather on here. It shows what the weather's going to be like today through the week, things like that. You can click on specific days, and it will tell you very basic information. Nothing, you know, no real details. You do have right here, you've got weather radar. Now there's no storms in the area right now, but if there were, you'd be able to see them on here. It throws up a kind of a rudimentary looking radar, and forget zooming in on a radar. It doesn't work. It looks terrible. It's like 2-bit blocks. It's ridiculous. You've got weather alerts. Same thing. You can see the different alerts that you can get, and then road conditions. Now there's not going to be anything going on here with the road conditions. There's no rain in the area. So you get an idea of that. Oh, going the wrong way. So you got this photo live thing here. Like I said, I did not set up for that. And you got traffic. Okay. It must really not be charging. Oh, I see. I covered this up. Alright, going through it some more. Apps. I think we went through most of the apps now. At least just kind of touched on some of them. You got dynamic parking. It's supposed to be able to tell you where parking is available. I don't care about that when I'm on my bike. I usually don't forget where I parked and where I've been. So, you know, it shows me different areas on where I've been. I think that just said the battery was low. Now, the map feature does have the 3D imagery. Now, I'm not going to be able to really demonstrate that very clearly because I live in Illinois, and Illinois is like Suckville for hills and mountains and valleys and things like that. But maybe if I, you know, swing it over to a different state. We'll just keep going west until we come across something. See, it actually loads pretty quick. You know, there's a, it has this pretty quick processor in it, and you can see it reloads the maps pretty darn fast. Turn the map a little bit. There we go. Okay, see how you're getting like a shaded area here. If we zoom in on this, it's going to start showing the different mountain features, things like this. So some of the settings, hopefully I can get through some of them before the phone just, or before the Garmin just dies on me. You got, you can set your preferences, different things like that. I won't show all of these things. Some of the ones it has a lot of different map themes that come preloaded, and all it does is it just kind of changes off your it changes the way that screen looks. So one of the things I do not like about this, and I think this has to do with every Garmin that's out there, it doesn't matter if it's the Zūmo, the Street Pilot, any of the other Garmins, the Nuvi, they all do the same thing. When it wants to reroute you, you cannot, you simply can't get around it. So if I'm trying to do one of my routes here, one of my trips, let's just say I'm doing this route here and go. It has all these different like destination points, waypoints, flags on the map, whatever they're called. And if I miss one of these, and you've experienced it probably before too, if I'm driving down here Highway 70 and I somehow miss this flag in the road, it will not recalculate to go around and just go simply to the next one. Oh, how I wish that Garmin would wake up and make it so that you can ignore some of your own waypoints. Like if you get off and you're distracted, you're like, oh hey, there's a cool road over there to the left, and you go over to the left and you go down that road knowing that it's going to come out further down the road, just maybe on a better road. You can't do it. It just simply, you have to sit there and pay attention to where you're at all the time. It's a real frustration. It has nothing to do with, I don't think it has anything to do with this particular Zūmo, but Garmin, if you're watching, please change that for us, okay? It's ridiculous. Definitely a real annoyance. And as well as this is pretty annoying, this whole graying of the screen. I'll just focus in a little bit deeper on it, and hopefully it'll just stay light enough to be able to use it. Just deal. So there's that share feature again. You can import stuff, whatever. You're supposed to be able to import from another device too, and I've tried going both ways. It doesn't work. Can't get it to work. So again, if you know how to do it, let me know. The multi-point pairing feature, I can't stand it, and I'll show you why. I'm going to try to demonstrate what I'm referring to is a real pain when it comes to this thing. So I got my phone here, and I'm going to put my music on, and then I'll put it into my helmet. Okay. So I'm going to try to put the camera right inside the helmet and try to demonstrate this. I hope it works. I think it'll work okay. So you can hear the music playing. Just got it kind of playing quietly. Now if I go and touch the screen, this thing is paired up with the scening unit as well. So it shuts the music off, and then it doesn't come back on for a good 5 seconds or so. And if you dare to touch any of the buttons, or if you tell it to go to a gas station or something, hopefully I'm getting all this. I'll tell it to go.
Please drive to highlighted route.
It takes forever for the music to come back on. That is just unacceptable to me. I can't take it. That's why I shut off this feature. That's why I shut this feature off, because I don't really want to hear it clicking and popping, and then every time I come up to a, you know, if I'm, hang on, let me put my music on pause. So if every time I come up to a stop sign, or you know, some kind of a turn coming up, it shuts the music off for at least 5 extra seconds than it would need to. I wouldn't mind if it just popped in, or if it just did it over the music, you know, or just kind of like toned the music down a little bit but still said what it had to say and then moved on. So that's really one of the huge annoyances of this Zūmo. A lot of cool features here. You got this last spot where you can, you know, if you're parked in somebody's driveway and you're not really sure where that spot was because you're out, you know, cruising around in the city or something like that, you can click this last spot and it will send you back to, you know, that guy's driveway again. So it is pretty cool. The help menu on here, crap. It's crap. Don't think you're going to be sitting in your hotel room thinking, oh yeah, I can sit there and learn how to use my GPS. No, you're not going to, because the help menu is about that lame. There's really nothing here. Oh, find a location just tells you, yeah, big whoop-de-doo. See, it doesn't really give you a whole lot other than the most basic instructions. It doesn't give you any details. It doesn't really tell you how you're going to, you know, create a nice map for yourself. If you're going to create a custom destination or something like that, if you want to create a route, it's not fun. I've done it. I sat in a hotel room one time and created a big long route, and it was tough. It was definitely tough to do that. Let me think of where I can actually. So you create this new trip here. So select the starting location, and I can say I'm going to start it at 558 somewhereville, you know. Okay, there we go. Louisville, Illinois, wherever that is. So we're going to select that. And now we're going to create another spot to go to. and you can go down. You have to go all the way down if you're going to do this on the map. You have to go down, keep going down to the browse map. It's all the way at the bottom. It's a pain in the butt. And you can kind of rotate through, and you know, say we're going to go over here to 43. Now we've got another spot. And you can move these locations. See, it's got these little arrows here. You can order things, you know, change them around, calculating the route, you know, that kind of thing. The curvy road function does work. It there we go. The curvy road function works. I kind of like it. It seems like it's a pretty good idea, as long as you're again out in your rural area. Overall, the thing really does work very well. There's a lot of information on the, you know, if you push that speed thing, you've got your trip meters that you can reset. It's hooked up to the phone again right now, so it's showing me the temperature out. It's showing my max speed. Actually, of course, that's not my max speed. That'd be somebody else's max speed. It would be somebody that was very careless and out of control. Certainly not me. Your moving average, overall average. It's got stop time, as well as elevations, things like that. You can also, I think you can change some of these settings. You got fuel settings. Now, I don't know why this is, you know, you've got fuel tracking. I'm not going to be doing any of that stuff. It'll throw up a warning, like if you're really careless and you want to, you know, fill up every 178 miles or something, you can set that in there if you want the Garmin to completely take over your entire life. I don't really care to do that. You can reset your, you know, your trips, your trip meters. So you reset all these datas and things like that. I'm not going to do that. You can't see it in this field here, but when you're driving, it does show up ahead. It'll show like little symbols for restaurants, rest areas, gas. It will even show you what type of gas station it is. Like if it's a BP station, it will show you the BP symbol on there, or the Shell symbol. I only wish that it showed like the gas prices. That would be kind of cool too, but maybe it's too much information. If it has a rest area, it'll show that up ahead. You can kind of search for things. It's really a well thought out thing. I think that there's always something that they could change. One would certainly be that that problem I mentioned earlier about those, you know, the flags, little waypoints that it just keeps wanting you to go back to that all the time. What else? Not really sure what else I can talk about. If you have questions on this thing, you can get a hold of me through the either through our website at IllinoisBMWRiders.com, or you can leave questions or comments in the comments. I'll try to get to them as often as I can. And other than that, you know, it's really a pretty decent little device. It really seems to work well, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you consider this one. They are expensive. They're probably, you know, something pushing $800 for this stuff, and if you get the little TPMS sensors, those usually add to it. And then the Verb camera, which is, you know, kind of a GoPro-ish type camera. It's very specific to Garmin. It's another few $100. You can spend and spend and spend. We all know that. But this one's pretty nice. It's got this nice big screen on here. You know, it's just about as big as the smartphone is, and it you know, it has a lot of good functionality. Hopefully they can keep this thing relevant before it you know, it gets taken over by, oops, excuse me, before it gets taken over by these, you know, with the map features and stuff in here. Map features, you may use your phone. They work pretty good. But for a standalone, it's okay. I'm liking it. And it's completely waterproof, which is nice. So, scrolling through these, come down to display, color mode. There you go. You got the orientation. So if I wanted to change the orientation to portrait, see, now I can look at the whole thing in this direction. So it depends on how you mount it, stuff like that. I've got the brightness set up to 100%. A lot of people leave it on automatic. Me, some days I feel like I'm going blind. So there we go. You can take a screenshot of something. Color mode. Now I got that one on auto, so it changes over as soon as the time changes, you know, for whenever nighttime is. But we can change it to night, and now it highlights everything in the other direction. So if we take a look at our map, it looks very nice when you have it in this mode. If it's cloudy out or if it's dark out, certainly looks really, really good. Nice relief and contrast. It shows the colors on the map very well. You know, you can see the little park and stuff over here, and different fields, things like that. Oh, now it's going real dark because of it's in. I'm running out of battery here, so I got to hook this thing up. I'll leave it on night mode when I hook it up to the vehicle, to the bike outside. Okay, so we got our dock right there. And to hook it in, you just hook it into the bottom and clip it in, and you'll see the screen will jump to life. There it goes. Okay, kind of getting an idea here of the amount of light that you can see on this thing. It's really kind of hard to see this screen when it's in night mode during the day. I will say it looks prettier in the dark. I like that these are kind of blue colored and, you know, different things, but it tells me my TPS sensors are not connected, of course. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go back and find that mode and turn it back on automatic. Alright, now you can see how bright the screen is. This is on, remember, mine is on 100% bright, and it's you can see it. You can't see it perfect. It's not the most detailed. Right now, the sun is definitely shining. If I were to shadow this thing a little bit, you can see it a little bit better. And it really, really depends on what you're wearing. If you are wearing high vis and you have this thing like so it's pointing at your chest and not, you know, maybe pointing up like this or something up at the sky, it's going to reflect whatever it is that you're seeing. So you got high vis on. Right now I'm wearing, like, you can see it's kind of like a dark red shirt. If I had high vis on, you can really not see the screen too good at all. That's when you're going to have to rely on the audio directions, things like that, run it through your radio or run it through your speakers in your helmet if you have those. If you have a black jacket on, it's going to be even better. Okay, again, really just kind of see, you know, what it looks like here. You can see this while you're driving. You can see up in the corners, you know, like when you're going, it tells you, you know, how far you've got to turn and things like that. So let's talk about some of the other things here. Okay, the wiring harness here, this whole setup here that you get, which I showed you in the unboxing part of it, had this right here, this USB port. Now, I thought this was going to be, you know, just a really cool feature to have on this thing. Like, you know, I could maybe charge my cell phone while I was driving, because I'm thinking, alright, it's hooked up to the 12-volt system. Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. I think this is simply an in if you have one of those iPod, iPhones, you name it. I think that only works for iPod. I've hooked in a regular MP3 player to it, and it did nothing. It said on here that it was connected, or actually no, it said that it was connecting on the MP3 player, but it didn't do anything. I tried hooking up my phone to it. That did absolutely nothing. I've tried, I think I tried hooking up a memory stick that had all kinds of songs on it, MP3s, and that did absolutely nothing. So I think that this thing only works with an iPhone, iPad, pod thing. Okay. Now the other connections that this thing has, and here, I'm going to set the phone down, or this thing down a second. Okay. Now, there's a big jumble of mess down here, just because I didn't know what else to do with them. But here you've got these other ones. You got audio in. You've got I think this is mic in, so you can, I don't know why there's a mic in on there. Oh, that's so you can hook it up to use that for your phone, if you want to hardwire into your phone. And then you've got audio out. So those are some of the other the plugs that come with it. The rest of the stuff, just ignore all this stuff. So again, I can't really think of much else to say other than thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you get an idea of some of the features and things like that on this Garmin. And I hope you'll check out some of our other videos. We're starting to do some reviews now, not just maintenance videos, but reviews on tires and different products and things that we buy. And again, just thanks for watching. Take care and happy riding.